Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. It's your host, Cyberdragon, otherwise known as Peter. Call me whatever you like. So we're going to continue the education segments that we've been doing every week. I think we're up to our final two. There's 8 parts, and we're doing part 7 and part 8 today. I will link those to you. Give me one moment and I'll bring them on screen and link them in chat. Where are we? Okay, so here we go. So I'll link this in chat. This one here is probably the more advanced stuff. So this one here is learning about the rules system. Most of my streams, I do more advanced things, and you'll find that I play with the rule system pretty much every stream, since it deals with numbers and variables and things that make the game fun. So I will link the course for that, or the tutorial video. And this one here will teach you how to set up mechanics, which unlocks new gameplay. You can put customizable HUDs and displays like scores and lives and things like that for players. So do check that one out. And we also have part 8. I'll link that in chat as well. Hey, Play Game for Fun, how's it going? Doing well. How are you been? This one here is part 8. This one here is multiplayer game logic, so about the rules variables and how to synchronize them for all the players, spawn point behaviors and how to create teams, and things like that. So most of my streams are about these already. I'm going to be sharing some of my secret sauce that I've been keeping on me for a while, and that's how to create in-game leaderboards. It's not a leaderboard system like the traditional way, it's just for the instance. So if you have a race and you want someone, or a score, or you want someone to have like a top score to show everybody else what the top score is in this instance, I can show how to do that in the rules. So it has a few uses, and I'll teach you how to show personal score and highest score from the whole instance, and how to stick them in a HUD so everyone can see. And yeah, we'll go through that together. Again, if you have any questions or want to know how to put certain logic together, or you need help with your game jam and you're stuck somewhere, this is a good time to ask questions during the stream, and I can show exactly how to do it or how to tackle it, and hopefully help you out. But check out these videos on the logic design and the rule systems and variables and things like that, or just watch my previous streams. I do go over all that logic and what you can do with it. But we'll go into the Game Maker, and we'll jump straight in. And we're going to set up the usual things. So each time I have a new experience, I always come in here and always go on player join and HUD. And we just say HUD and HUD. And this will load up the HUD as soon as the player joins the experience. And then we can set up things like numbers. So we can have a local number, which just shows for the player. And we can have something like player time or player score, whatever the case you want. And then we can have another number, and that can be global. And we can say best score or best time. And that can be displayed for everybody. And then we can have that displayed on the HUD. So we can have best personal score, and we can just have like a rocket or something, and we'll make that medium. I believe there's a large option later in Game Maker 0.11. And there's also best score. And we can put a star there. Perfect. And we'll have medium. In this version, do we have player name? Yes, we've got set player name as well. So what we'll do here is we'll have a variable, and we're going to make it a text, and we'll make it local, so every player gets their own, and we'll just say player name. And what we'll do is on HUD, we're going to set player name. So HUD, when the players join, we're going to have player name. So set player name to player name when they join, and we can just show that here so you can see player name and how that looks. Any symbol here doesn't really matter. Actually, I might not have any symbol at all. We'll just have nothing. So now when a player joins, it's going to load up a HUD, it's going to set the player name, and that's pretty much it. You can make this multiplayer up here to test it to see what it's like in multiplayer. And let's have a look. Pause game jam deadline. Are you still struggling to get to the end of your game jam? Is that what's happening? So we'll tab in, and you can see we got personal score, best score, and player name. You can see all of that is all their visual for the player. Cool. Wanted to see something here. There's always like chats that you can see. I don't know why. It connects to chat, and then there we go. There's probably settings here, and text size, message fade delay, message background, gameplay opacity, and that's it. So now it just pretty much fades in the background. And it's behind my picture as well, so you can't really see too much of it, but it's gone now. All right, so let's should we do a score system, or should we do a time system for a race? What would you guys like to see? Maybe we could show both. I don't know. Maybe we can do time, because that way there's a cycle, I guess. Because with the score, we need a time system anyway, to say when the time is up, calculate. So we'll do variables, and we'll go ahead and add a time, and the time will be global, and we'll just call it game time. Awesome. Next, we'll have start time, and we'll have a message that says start game. And when we start game, we will have our time begin, and the duration can be, say, 15 seconds for this example. And then we can have end game when the time is up. We want to display that time, so we'll display it up on the top here. We'll just have game time. Doesn't really matter. You can alter that as you please. And we need something to trigger the start game. So we will have we'll have our platform up here. And we'll have a numpad. We'll make that one invisible and no collisions. And we'll have a volume trigger. Make sure it's multiplayer for a multiplayer game. Something like this, and we'll try to line it up so it's even, and then that way we should have pretty much the proper collisions. And then once the player leaves the area, we can say start game. So we start on the platform, it shows up our times, and when we jump out, you can see the 15 seconds begins, and we can start doing scores. So what we'll do here is we'll have say personal best score. So we'll have current score and personal best score. So we've got players best score, and then we need another number that is just for the player, so local, and then we'll have player current score. So we've got two different scores, one that records the best score for the player, and we'll have a current score for the game that they're playing, and we'll have best score for the server overall. And what we can do here is we've got player current score. So we've got the current score, and then we're going to have player's best score. So your personal best, and we will put a fire there to say it's your personal best. This one here can be a flag to show it's your current one. This one here will be the best score. Current best score. And this one here will be a star. And then this one here is player name. Maybe I can have that here. Current best score held by current best score, and maybe I can just put the name there. I wonder if it will show. Let me just have a quick look. See what it looks like. So we got current score, personal best score, and we got current best score. So we can get rid of the current best score and just have a wait, we actually want the numbers. So we will put current best score held by, and then the name. Current best score and then held by. And this one here should be current best score. Okay, perfect. So we're displaying the right information now. That's to start game. When the time runs out, it ends game. So this is the current setup, and we got the information that we need to show the player. Next, we're going to have math to add to the score. So we're going to have score, and we're going to do it as a message argument, and we're going to add a number, and we're going to call that score. And this is where we're going to send a score message to, and we're going to get the variable player's current score, and we're going to add the message argument to player's current score. So my current best score, my current game score plus the message argument of score equals player current score. Now we just need to have a couple of coins or something that gives points. So we can just do a spinning, spinning coin. We'll drag that in here just for the sake of collecting something. Make sure it's global, so everyone who's in the game, it's first come, first serve. If we do false, everyone has a copy, so when you pick it up, someone else can also pick up their own copy. But for a PvP sort of match game, you'll probably want only one copy. And we can have a coin sound when it's picked up, and the message on collect will be the score. And we'll send a score of, say, 30 points or 35 points, whatever the case may be. And we're going to send that to the rules. And we just go ahead and duplicate as many as we want with Control D. And we'll Control S to save that. Alrighty, so we'll tab in. When we jump off, the time begins. I don't think we can start that again. Yes, we can. So you can see the collision here is allowing us to start again. So if you want to make this a bit better, what you can do is just bring that higher. Obviously, you can teleport the players as well. And what we can do here is make this 1. And what we could do here is we can have this as, I don't know, 9 by 9. So when the players jump off, 12 by 12, it will hit, and then they can't re-trigger it because they just fall through it. But obviously you want a teleport system. I'm just showing you how to trigger some mechanics in regards to times. Then we can have a collection, and then we can start comparing high scores and then displaying them. We could do the complicated one too with the teams, but we'll see. And it's loading infinitely. Hopefully it comes back out without needing to reset. We'll see what happens. Okay, finally loaded in. So now when I fall through, it starts the time, and I can't really reset it anymore. But if I pick up some coins now, you can see the current score is going up each time I collect a coin. When we have end game, we don't have a function that happens, but we can do that to teleport the player back up. And we'll just call this TP lobby. Bring the player back up to the lobby when the game is finished. We can say tp.lobby. Then a teleport destination is the TP lobby asset. So we'll bring them back up here when the game is finished. TP lobby. End game. So with end game, what we can do here is we can have a volume trigger box. It's going to be 3 by 90 by 90. So it covers up the whole experience. So it doesn't matter where you are, you're going to be triggered. And here we can say TP lobby. So when it spawns, everyone on the battlefield will get TP'd up at the top. We will make that no collisions, and we'll make that invisible. And we also need a plant to kill it. So we don't want this to be here. And we also have start game. And we could probably do start game on enter instead of exit, because when I jump in, it's going to start. And we can kill this with start game, so it doesn't trigger the players again when they jump off. It will be gone. So we want to get rid of this and only bring it out when the game ends. And then we'll say TP lobby at end game. And we'll save that as a preset. We'll come over here, create new, and create a preset. So that way we can bring out this asset with these settings whenever we need it. You can delete this now, or you can just remove the settings and put an asset spawner. And with the asset spawner, you can click preset, and then we can bring out the lobby preset with the message end game. So when end game is sent, it will bring out that TP and teleport us back up here. And that should work as an infinite loop. So let's check that out, see how it goes. So we'll jump down, time begins. All right, so we've got 315. Time's ran out. It's teleported us back up here. And if we jump down, you can see the timer has begun again, and it's a new game. So what we can do here as well is we can save this coin as a preset. So we'll go ahead and add a preset. Now we've got a coin. What we can do here is duplicate this asset spawner and start game. We can bring out a coin. And what we can do here is with the coin, we can have a plant. And when the message end game is sent, it will kill all the coins. So no more coins when a game ends, and we can spawn them when a game begins. So we'll go ahead and save over this coin with the plant. And what we can do now is delete these. And with start game, we can bring out the coins. So if we go duplicate, Control D, duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. Just to give you a few examples here, you obviously want to put them in a better spot. But now we have a cycle where when the game begins, all the coins will spawn. Players will go and get the coins. When the game ends, they will all die. You get teleported back to your lobby area. So you can see there's no coins. When I jump in, the coins spawn. I can go ahead and pick up some coins. And when the time runs out, the coins will die or disappear. As you can see, they disappeared. I am now back to my base. My score was 280, and jump back in, and you can see we got more coins. Now you notice we not died, but took damage when we fell. You just go to gameplay. I think it's, oh no, this one here, it's in player, controller, and down here we can disable fall damage, and all that sort of stuff. We can enable PvE. We can get rid of oxygen for swimming, or we can disable swimming. We can even disable jumps. Well, we used to. I think this is to climb up assets. The force jump is not edited unless you put a custom avatar. So if I put a custom avatar, I would just say whoever this guy is, and then go to controller, Now you can customize the jumps. So I can have it now the player cannot jump. So when I press spacebar, you can see nothing happens. And when I fall down, I take no damage, but I can no longer jump as well. So you can kind of like disable a jump, but you need to have a custom avatar in order to make those settings. Okay, so what we want to do now is have that calculation of my score and apply it to my personal best and apply it to the current best in the server and see all that working. So let's go ahead and create a new variable. And this one here I will put as global. And this one here will be server best score first check. And this one here will be local. And this one is personal best score first check. And I'll show you what that means soon. But we got numbers here and we can't see if they're local or global because the names are too long. That L or G should be at the beginning here or something for ease of use. All right, so what we're going to do here is use the message end game. So when end game occurs, maybe end game, or is it TP lobby? Because that means we're triggering it by player interaction. So if we say tp.lobby, this is when the game ends. We're going to see our personal best score. If it equals to 0, we're going to set personal best score first. And we duplicate this. And if it's greater than 0, we're just going to set our personal score. Okay, so with the rules, we're going to now set a number value. And we're going to set the number value based on this one, which is set personal score first. I think that's what we're going to do. And then let's set personal score. Let's test this out. Wait, yeah, so set personal best score first, and we're going to have player's best score is going to be the variable of player's current score. And if we do this is to check if I've set a score already. And if it's my first game, we want to set whatever score we've got to be the score of our current score. And we also need to do the same for the global. But if it's set personal score, all we do here is we need to do another check. So check personal best. And we're going to do another comparison. And here we're going to check personal best. And we're going to check if is our personal best score greater than the current the player's current score, so whatever they got in the game. So is our personal best score that we've got saved higher than the current best score? If it is, we're going to set personal best score. And then we're going to duplicate this. We'll bring this down, put this here. and we're going to set personal best score, and we're going to set our personal best score to whatever our current score is, only if it's greater than our current score. So let's test that out. We'll go ahead and save, and we'll check it out. What's going on, chat? Welcome. All right, so if we jump down and our game begins, we're just going to collect 4 coins in this one for a score of 140 and see if it actually works. And we get teleported back to base. And you can see our personal best score is set at 140. Cool, let's start again. We also need to change our current score back to 0. So what we can do here is we can have a personal timer for this one. Personal timer. And with the personal timer, we can just put it here, start timer. So with TP lobby, we're also going to set personal timer, and after 2 seconds we're going to set personal score to 0. Oh, sorry, set current score to 0. And then from here we're going to set number value, and we're just going to set our current score to 0. So when we start a new game, it will go back to 0. And now we can see this working in action. So if we pick up these coins, we got a score of 140. Let's get one more. So 175. Okay, so you can see now my current score is 0. My personal best is 175. I can jump down, start a new game, and I can go ahead and I'll pick up this time 4. So we've got 140. It's not better than our personal best. So let's see if this works. All right, it does not. Okay, so the reason for that is because we didn't have a math rule for this one. So when I set personal score best, I need that value to go from 0 to 1. So the next time it goes down this path instead of this path. So all we need to do for this is add a math rule here. So when we set personal best first, we're going to take the variable personal best score first check, and we're going to add 1 to personal best score check. So that way, after we set our first personal best, it's going to set this variable from 0 to 1, so it doesn't set it again unless we actually beat the score. And this is where the math happens when you do beat the score. So let's test that out one more time. So we've got a current score of 210. Now it's set our personal best to 210. We're going to go out now and get a low score. Okay, we got a score of 140. Now when the game ends, it should not update the personal best because my personal best is higher than 140. But I am incorrect in that matter. So let's check out what's going on again. So we've got personal best score first check, personal best score first check. All right, is the value higher than 0? Yes. Was our player best score greater than the current score? And if it was, set my current best score to the player score. So the variable add 1 to player best score first. Player current score. And we set the current score to 0. Do I have something the wrong way around? Maybe. Let's see if we can find it. So if my best score that I have here is higher than the current score, then we set that score. Maybe it's the other way around. So if our player current score is greater than our player's best score, then we set our best score. So let's see if this one works, and we can actually just decrease the time so we're not waiting as long. We'll just do 10 seconds so we can do these examples a lot faster. All right, so we've got a score of 210, and it's set it to 210. Now we have a score of 140, which is not higher than our personal best. And you can see it did not update our personal best because we did not beat it. So we'll try that one more time. 175. Did not beat our personal best. And now let's beat it. So 350. And you can see our personal best is 350 and it's updated that. So each time we get a higher score, it will update our personal best. And if it's lower than the previous score, it won't change our personal best. So it's kind of like keeping a small leaderboard for the session for the person. Other players can't see your personal best unless it's going to be current best score on the instance. So let's now set up that part so every player can see who has the highest score currently in this instance. So that way you can try to compete with others on getting a higher score than everyone else in the server. We basically want to replicate everything we just did here for the personal best, but for yeah, so what we got here is it equals to 0? If so, we're going to set 1 and then set that. So this one here is first time personal best, set personal best. So the very first score we get when we join the game is going to set it as our personal best. And then this one here is if it's not our first time, we're going to start a 2-second timer. I think this happens regardless. We can put this as separate. So we can have a 2-second timer. Then it's going to check if it's our first time, and if it is, it's going to set it and do the math. If it's not, it's going to set it if it's greater than. Let me just double check to make sure I've got it. And if it is greater than 0, okay, so this one here is a timer, and we're going to set this one here. So after the 2 seconds, it's going to set our current score to 0. Then it's going to check if it's the first, and then we're going to see if it is greater than 0, it's going to check to see if it's our personal best. And if it is, we're going to set it to that value. I'll go ahead and get rid of this. There we go. It's in the order that we want. Now to test it against the current lobbies map. So let's see how we can do that. So after the TP lobby, we're going to check to see if it is the personal best, and we're going to set it. So we're going to duplicate this whole thing. And what we're going to do here is TP lobby. We're going to see if it's the server's best first time. And if that equals 0, we're going to set server best score first. And we're going to set score first. We're going to take the server's best score, add 1 to equal the server best. And then we're going to set the server best score, and we're going to set the server's, is it the best score? I think it's just this one, right? Best score. Let's see if that's what's displayed here. Yeah, best score. I'm going to rename it so I know exactly what it is. It's going to be the server best score. Okay, so if it's the server's best score, TP lobby, set server best score. We're going to set best score to that, and we're also going to set text value. So the text value, the player name, is going to be the variable of your player name. So if you do reach the highest score on the server, it's going to set that score based on your current score, and it's going to set the name of your current name. So everyone can see that. And this only happens if it's the first time running it. If it's the second time running it, we're going to duplicate this one. And we're going to take the server best score. And if it's greater than 0, we're going to check server best. Check server best. We're going to bring it over here. And is the current player's current score greater than the server's best score? If it is, we're going to set server best score. And we're going to set the server's best score, and it's going to be the variable server's best score. And we're going to again do the text value, and we're going to set the player name from the variable wait a minute. Player name. I don't think that's right. We got player name. Is player name global? No, it's local. So what we need here is a text to be global, and player name best score. It needs to be global so everyone can see it. So we're going to set player's best score here, and we're going to change this variable here. So it's not the player's local, but it's the player name for the global. And we're going to change this one to be the best score of the player name, server's best for the current score, and we add 1 after the first one's done, and we check. Okay, I think that is all that's needed. We'll bring this closer and we'll test it out. So when we hop off, all right, we've picked up some coins. It's going to end the game. And as you can see, our current score is 175. It's set it as our personal best, and it also set it as the server best, and it shows my name to show who is holding that high score. Now, if I come back into the game and I don't quite get a high score, it's teleported me back. You can see I didn't beat my personal best, and I didn't beat the current best score on the server. Now we'll start a new game. Okay, we smashed the score. We got 420, and you can see it's our personal best, and it's also the current best in the server. Now, if we had 2 or 3 players, the current best will be different from my personal best because there's other players involved. But because I'm playing this on my own, the current server score will always be my personal score because I'm playing on my own. But that name will change based on who actually holds it. So that's how you build kind of like an in-game leaderboard system, where if you have a game that loops and players will keep playing and playing and playing, you can always have a personal best. You can also show who has a higher score in the server at the moment, and it's sort of like an in-game leaderboard system. So if players are playing for hours, that game score and their name will always be there until someone else beats it. Once the instance is empty for 5 minutes, all of that gets wiped, so it doesn't save anywhere in the current version of Game Maker. So it's just a temporary workaround for an in-game leaderboard for your game jam entries or something you want to do until persistent saving kicks in the future. Extreme Arcade, how's it going? So does the server high score remain there permanently until the event? It only stays in until the instance is reset. So once the instance has been empty for like 5 or 10 minutes, the instance resets. There's no information saved. But if you got one instance where you're playing for hours with friends or streaming, it will stay there until you all leave. So it's still good for events, for streaming or community events, or for game jams, for instance. It's good to have something there for the time being, because the leaderboards that are coming out in the future only show the scores when the instance is finished and you leave, or have got a victory screen, whereas this will always show it while the game is active. And then you got your personal best score. And you can see it's updated. My personal best is higher than the previous one, so it's updated and the name changes. It's pretty cool. And it's a good little workaround using the rule system. Quite easy to put together too. I'll show you the math here. So you got the HUD here to display all the variables and the HUD to set the player name. Here is all the variables that you need a couple of times, some numbers. You need a timer to start the game and end the game. You need a score system and to store that variable inside the player's current score. When the game ends, the player TPs to the lobby, and there's a 2-second timer before your current score resets to 0. Before that happens, it does some math to see, was this the first time you've played in this session? If it was, it's going to set your personal best. It doesn't matter what you got, because your personal best will be set at 0. If it wasn't your first time, it's just going to set your personal score. So this one here is first time, set the score, add 1 to your personal best score so it doesn't do it again. And then it compares to see, did you beat it or not? This one here is for the global. So is it the best score on the server? Is it the first score set on the server? If it is, just set it. And then if it's not the first score, did you beat it? And if you did, set it. If not, it doesn't do anything. And that's it. And then you can add different mechanics. Obviously, you don't want a lobby system like this. This is just a quick example. I have shown lobby systems in previous streams. I've done them many, many times. So do check out the previous streams for lobbies and races and that sort of thing. What else can we do? So we could probably take our preset, the coin, and we could probably have collisions and gravity. And what we could do here is I'll probably save over the current preset. And I think this is the end game. Yes, it is. Just gonna move this over here. So if I start a game now, I think these coins will just fall out of the sky. Just like that. So you can have coins that fall out of the sky randomly. So there's not a predefined amount of coins everywhere each game. So what we could do here is we could be a little bit creative. So what we could do here is we can have a RNG number, which is global. RNG, it's going to be 0. And we'll have a roll a random number. And we can have RNG as the number roller, and it's going to roll between 1 and say 8. And that will be stored in the RNG. And we compare result. And we just do a whole bunch of comparisons. So here, compare result. Is RNG equal to 1? RNG 1. And then we can duplicate this. And is it 2? RNG 2. Duplicate this. Is it 3? RNG 3. 4. RNG 4. 5. RNG 5. 6. RNG 6. 7. RNG 7. And 8. RNG 8. So when it rolls a dice, it will display, it won't display, sorry, it will compare, and then it will spawn based on the result. And then we can have a timer. So we'll have a time, we'll call it RNG timer. And we can call this, we can have this as start game. And we'll take our RNG timer, and after 1 second, it will send the message RNG, which then rolls RNG, and then we can compare result. So we can duplicate, and we can say compare result. It's going to take RNG after 1 second. Or we can say 0.75, whatever you want. Or we can have here 0.5, so it's quick. So start game, RNG, message to stop rule will be end game. So when a game ends, that stops. And that will cycle through until the game ends. So when it starts, it will do an RNG. When it compares the result, it will do another timer. And you can make that as quickly as you want to spawn. And let's go ahead and delete all of this. And we can have here RNG 1. RNG 2, RNG 3, RNG 4, RNG 5, RNG 6, we'll duplicate RNG 7, duplicate, and RNG 8. So we have a 8 coin RNG system. So every 0.7 seconds, it's going to come out of one of these. And what we can do here is we can duplicate with Control D. And then we can reorganize them. So this half can be over here. And we could just bring that to here. And then we can duplicate. We'll bring this over here. And we can take the middle part here. And we can make it a bit different. We could duplicate this over here. And we could take this part, bring it here, this part, bring it here, so it's a bit more randomized. I can duplicate, and we can have something else over here, I don't know. All right, and we're going to duplicate that. Wait. Duplicate, Control D. And what we could do here is rotate it. We can duplicate and then rotate it. And then I can duplicate and rotate it. And now we have a whole section of random coins that will fall from the sky every 0.7 seconds. We're supposed to get leaderboards 0.10.11. It's supposed to come out pretty a couple of weeks ago, but I think alpha season kind of delayed that. And there's still a few things to sort out. So yeah, give me one moment. We're going to test this out now. So when the game begins, you can see coins are falling out of the sky. And it's quite a lot. It's more than I thought. Let me go ahead and see if I can reduce that. It shouldn't be that many. Let's have a look. So RNG, let's say every 1.5 seconds. Let's see if that works. So you can see a whole bunch of coins come out of the sky. And now people can start. And that's the end of the game. And you can see the coins there spawned after the game finished. So what we can do here is have another timer. So we can use a timer to kill them again. We used, let me see what I used to kill them. So I've got a coin. And the coin here is end game. We probably want to put another one here, so kill coin, just so we have another function that we can use to kill the coin. So we'll kill a coin, and we'll have another message that will kill the coins after the game ends, I mean. So what did we have here? So after 2 seconds, we got set current score to 0. We could do that, set current score to 0, because we're using that message after the game ends anyway. So let's set current score to 0. And we'll go ahead and save over that. I didn't want that many coins to come out. I didn't think it would be that many. I mean, did I do something wrong, or did I just duplicate that many? I thought I had 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I did quite a bit. But that's okay. If you have like a lot of players, it's not a problem. So we can have a timer that's not so quick because we've got so many coming out. So let's go to our comparison. We could say maybe after 2.5 seconds or even 3 seconds. And then we can have the timer to be longer than 10 seconds now. We can just make it 15. And there. Now we have a leaderboard system, a resettable game, who can get the highest score, and we can collect different coins. Based on positioning. Now the coins, it's slowing me down when I run into them. So I probably want to remove collisions to make it a bit faster. Let's see if that's a thing. So I got collisions in gravity. I can't have no collisions in gravity, so I'm going to have to just have that as a thing where the player gets slowed by picking them up. And what else can we do? So we can probably map out the fall-in space. And just make sure all the coins spawn in the space area here. But this is just like a really quick example on how to put something together. Obviously, you'll polish it up, make it more creative, and I'm just showing you the functions and how you can get something relatively okay pretty quickly. And this is a competition type game. The person that collects the most coins will have their name displayed. And obviously you can have obstacles, so walls that go in your way. And push players around, that sort of thing. And you can have them tied to RNG system as well. So if a particular number is rolled, not only does it spawn from a coin from a particular rainfall area, but you can have like walls that move and floors that move. So you can have walls that have a basic platform, and you might have it go 15 and just push players around and have like full speed and no wait time, and they can activate and deactivate based on the number that is rolled. So you can have this wall do that, or you can have it as a floor, and you might have something that makes the floor go up and players can't reach it, and it might not need a toggle, but you could toggle it on with, say, RNG 1 and turn off with like RNG 2, and you could duplicate that and have this one turn on with RNG 2, but turn off with RNG 4. You can duplicate this one, and you can have this one say turn on with RNG 3, turn off with RNG 8, and so forth and so forth. RNG 4, turn off with RNG 7, duplicate. RNG 5, turn off with RNG 6, duplicate. RNG 6, turn off with RNG 2, duplicate. RNG 7, and turn off with RNG 3, and duplicate. And this one here can be RNG 8, turn off with RNG 5. And you can select all of these, and you could turn them all off with end game so they don't move once the game's finished. And again, you can duplicate all of these and rotate them, and you can have them in different positions. Like that. Of course, you can do whatever you want. I'm just showing you what you could possibly do, but your imagination is the limit, is where I'm trying to get at. So go ahead and save that. And if it works as intended, the coins should rise up with the platforms as well. So it adds more obstacles, and it's not as easy as just running towards the coins, because these things can go up at any time, and it might cause a blockage between you and getting that coin, which will prevent you from getting an easier high score. So you can see now, see, and there's coins up there, and you can see the coins are going up now, and I can't get to them. And as coins fall, different platforms fall and rise and go down. And the longer your game goes for, the more interesting it is. I've only got a 15-second timer. But if you have all the floor covered with these platforms, then guaranteed the coins will always be rising and falling in different ways. I don't know what happens if we're under it. So let's test out what happens if we're under it and it falls down. Squish me. Squish me, please. No. Let's try again. Ah, that one's supposed. Ah, come on. Squish me. Squish me. Oh, that one fell. What about the one above me? No? Alright, let's try again. It's gotta happen, right? Surely. Surely. Squish me. There we go. So if the player gets squished, they just get pushed on top of the platform, so it doesn't push you through the ground or break anything. It just puts you on top of the platform, so it's actually quite good. And now you can see I can't jump either. I've disabled the jump, so players can't jump from platform to platform either, which makes it a bit more interesting, because players can't just jump up on it, and it can cause obstacles, and it just makes things a bit more interesting. But this is just my quick little example of personal scores being recorded, seeing if you can beat your personal score, setting the instant score, having coins fall out of the sky, platforms and obstacles to make the game a bit more interesting. And this was a really rushed job, but you can see how easy it is to put a concept together and make it a bit challenging for the player, for multiplayer purposes, that is. And there's a bit of variance because RNG is involved, no jumping is involved, coins go up with the platform, that sort of thing. So maybe you can make something interesting. Maybe this inspired you. Maybe you can think, oh, I can upgrade my game using these mechanics now to make your game jam entries a bit more interesting, or your existing games on your published lands. You might even come up with a whole new concept now. But do let me know if you have any questions or want to see some particular logic put together. Now is your chance. And if there is no questions, I will just call it a day. But I hope you learnt something, and I hope the rules system is not too daunting for you. It's just a message system. It is just messages, and it's just going through calculations of things. When you play around with it enough, it becomes really easy. But if it's your first time or you barely dabbled into it, I can understand this could be a bit intimidating, but really it's quite easy, and you can do some really cool things with the rule system. How to use team score. I think I showed that in the previous stream, where you could do team coin collection. So this one here is about leaderboards. To do the coin team one is a bit more setting up and will take about 20 minutes or so. So I do recommend checking out the previous stream I did with the team scores. I'll see if I can find it. Probably needs a little bit of digging actually, and I don't have my bookmarks active. But if you're on my Discord server, I'll be able to link it to you later on today. And yeah, we can go from there. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. And again, wish you all the best in your game jam entries. Take care. Bye-bye.